Hello.
Good afternoon. I think Steve is out today.
Yeah, Steve should be off. He has the palm tree. It's like I do.
hmm I remember he mentioned it last week. I don't know how much others are around. I think Greg was out last week.
Yeah, and Svongo mentioned he's not going to be joining.
Okay. I mean, we might cut it short. I did copy over the action items from last time, but I don't see any other agenda item.
Yeah, maybe let's wait a couple of minutes, see if people will join.
Yeah. Let's see. Hello, everyone. We're just waiting a few minutes to see who else is joining. We have few AC members who are out at least in the morning or all day, so not available for the meeting today. We might just glance through the action items unless anyone has any further topics for the agenda for today. Okay, I think we can start and then we'll see if anyone else is joining. To do this efficiently, do we have people on the call who are actively working on any of the action items? I think
Sure.
there was, yeah, go ahead.
Regarding the confidential container stuff, I'm afraid I don't have any serious involvement there. I'm not sure if anyone else
Yeah, I've been work on this one.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's still unstable, so we cannot make it required. I send APR trying to fix at least one problem that is still need to be merged. But yeah, it's not in the point where we can make it required. It
Mhm.
will need more. I will need more time to fix all the problems, but I'm work on that.
Thank you for the update.
Welcome.
Um, I'm just trying to use Steve's method of marking things and mark this carry forward so we can check on it next week or next week again. Has anyone on the call had a chance to look into the overview slide deck that the Kata community has, which is a tad bit, not tad bit outdated here and there?
Unfortunately, not me. I didn't have the chance. I will try to do that over the weekend.
That would be great. I did some improvements already. We have the Etherpad as well for people to give feedback and share ideas. One of the big things that would be very helpful to me is if you all could think about what you would highlight from 3.0. Like since 3.0 came out, like we are at what 3.14.
14.
So what was in the 14 minor releases that would be worthwhile to mention for an audience who's looking at Kata more from user perspective as opposed to, well, I think mostly user perspective, and some of them will also be developers, but catering for the audience who don't know the code base back and forth. So new developers or users.
Yeah, so one of the major things that went in the 3.x release cycle is the raster time. So this is the key thing that will be made default once we get to 4.0. So this is a major step. But yeah, we can have an iteration like that, summarize the key points from 2 to 3 and looking forward from 3 to 4.
Yeah, that would be very helpful because I try to look at the release notes for the minor releases from time to time, and I have to realize if I don't work on the code actively, most of the things are just a lot of digging for me to figure out how it might affect a user. It's not always fully straightforward to tell. And there are a lot of little items in every minor release. So it's a lot of work to go through for someone like me who's not working on the code base actively. So the community as experts help would be really, really valuable and helpful to me. So all help is appreciated. Okay. I will put out some reminders on Slack as well. So people see it there too. Okay. I think we would need Zvonko, Steve, and some more AC members for the vulnerability management
Yeah,
topic,
and the
unless anyone on
tooling
the call has any thoughts or updates.
and the fact that we haven't been, I don't think that Zvongo had the chance to look into the GitHub tooling for that. So that's I think that's on the same topic, VMT and the tooling for management of CVs. Maybe we could get the process from I don't know what the Open Infra Foundation does. I mean, for OpenStack, which I assume is a bit more strict.
So Kata already, there are multiple communities, not just within the Open Infra ecosystem, but also adjacent communities who borrowed the OpenStack community's vulnerability management process, including Kata. So there is a baseline process already outlined. It uses Launchpad, and it was set up for Kata years ago, but then it kind of got a little bit neglected. So there's a mailing list for a vulnerability management team. There's a process in Launchpad how to report vulnerabilities and security issues, how to do the embargo process. So that description exists in the Kata documentation as well. I do have a patch. I need to double check if it merged to point to the description from the Kata website, from the footer. So trying to make it a little bit more discoverable. But as we were starting to look at making the process more discoverable, it came up that maybe it's not the best fitting for the Kata workflows today. So that's when I think the idea came up to explore the functionality that GitHub has, because when the process was put in place first, GitHub didn't really have good support for vulnerability management. So like reporting security issues in private, you could not do that in the past. But I think GitHub is supporting that today, but I don't know the details of how that process works. And I think that's what Zvonko's action item is, to figure that out. Because it's one thing to point to the process, but then I think people also would like to make sure that there is an active group, a vulnerability management team who is actually looking after the reported bugs and the embargo process, and publishing the bug fix and information when it's appropriate. So they want to make sure that the process is up to date and there is a team who is actually really working on this. So trying to do two things at the same time.
Yeah.
Is this helpful information?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I remember the mess with Launchpad and the thing that one community member reached out and said, I cannot find you guys because Launchpad is not working, and the whole
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, I didn't know it was based on the OpenStack security vulnerability process. So yeah.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, it was. Well, it still is.
Yeah.
It still is. We are just, the community is trying to reevaluate if it's still the best way for the Kata community to do this, basically. Okay.
So regarding the metrics runner, so we had a go with Steve last week, and we managed to get the tests passing, I think. I need to double check that the runner is working. So we have access to the bare metal machine. We have set up the Kubernetes, and we have pods running. We have the runner running. We have the workflow from GitHub Actions running. So as far as I remember, the one thing that I checked, it was passing, it was green on GitHub, but I didn't check any other nightly tests. So let me just go quickly if I can find it. So the nightly tests are red, but if I can find them, yeah, the metrics are red as well. this is. So we still need to check it.
But it sounds like there was some good progress made on it since last time.
Yeah. Yeah, we did get the machine working, but it's yeah, I didn't check. I didn't have the time to check.
Okay. Did anyone else work on it, or was that your and Steve's task to move this forward?
I think it was only me and Steve, so
Okay,
we'll report back when we have news.
sounds great. Thank you. And there was a performance testing issue that I opened yesterday. It is still open. I haven't seen any discussions on it yesterday. No, it's still what Steve put together. So this is something it looks like we're looking for use cases still for this one.
Yeah, so this is kind of a follow-up from the discussion of the metrics. Until we got the specific machine, we were wondering whether the metrics tests are useful and who uses them, and if we check them, if it's something that it's useful for the project. And we were chatting with Zvonko whether we need some more elaborate tests specifically for the boot times, because Zvonko was mentioning that customers ask about the boot times and the overhead, and not that much about running a workload on in the container. So the discussion, I suppose, is around these topics. So we need to think what kind of performance regression tests we need, and populate this issue with our thoughts, and come to a consensus about how to improve the metrics test.
That's great update. Thank you. Does anyone else on the call has any thoughts to this one, or any experience in terms of performance testing? What's interesting, what's out of scope, or less important to measure? Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
As of performance testing, in the scope of virtualization, the performance of each hypervisor we have chosen could be the difference, could make a difference. So usually when I work with hypervisors, like we have many options like QEMU, Cloud Hypervisor, and Firecracker, that kind of thing. And we usually use these hypervisors to boot a same kernel with same rootfs and run sysbench on it to compare the difference of the performance of hypervisors between hypervisors. So I'm not sure are we going to like the performance testing is laid on which level. Like we like Kata Containers is running containers through virtualization. So are we going to run these performance testing against different hypervisors, or just in terms of runtime RS, and compare the difference of them? I started in the middle. I'm not quite sure about the context. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, so it's a good point. I mean, I think there are baselines for each hypervisor.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
in the current metrics, I think we run the metrics tests for Cloud Hypervisor and KEM. So there is a baseline performance, let's say, for each one of those, and each run compares itself to the previous run of the same hypervisor. However, the what we were chatting about with Zvonko about the overhead that the runtime adds, it should be hypervisor agnostic.
Okay,
So
have that
we could
agnostic.
value it the runtime percent, not.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
I mean, off the top of my head, I mean, I'm trying to think. Essentially, starting a container in Kemu would be different than starting a container in Firecracker,
Yes.
Cloud Hypervisor. So maybe there is a bias there. We can iterate over that. I mean, it's a useful chat to have.
Noted.
I added some notes to the Etherpad too. Maybe this could be worthwhile to mention on the issue as well. What do you all think?
Yes, sure.
Would either of you volunteer to add the hypervisor testing to the performance testing issue? I assume as a use case. This one.
Yep, I can do that.
Amazing, thank you.
Mm.
Okay, any other thoughts that people might have for performance testing? Okay, if not, then we can continue exploring this on the next AC call. What topics do people have for the call today other than going through the action items?
One thing that's kind of an update from the previous call is that we did a release. We have a 3.14 14 release. We had a bit of glitches, but I would say it went smoothly.
Was the
No
glitch with the
complaints.
process or the content?
No, regarding the content, we had a bug for the assets we were including in
Mhm.
the ARM tarball. We had a couple of binaries that would harm the machine that we would install the tarball. So we had to remove them, and we had to hot patch the release.
Oh, okay.
Fabiano and Zvonko were there, and Steve, so we managed to do that pretty smoothly.
Nice. Love the teamwork. Thank you all for the hard work on it. I love to see how the community is now able to keep this monthly cadence in a stable way. So it looks like it was a great improvement to simplify the release process.
Yeah, it seems like it, and the automated artifact creation and pooling seems to work fine.
Mhm. With this last minute hiccup that you all had, does it feel like there's anything that could be improved in the release process, or does it feel like that it was easy to catch the bug and fix the bug and still put the release out?
Well, there's still a minor glitch, I would say. We have this version file in the tarball that includes the tag, but the tag refers to the previous release because GitHub hasn't tagged the release yet. So it's kind of a chicken and egg problem. We will resolve that.
Mm.
The next one, but in general, I think the quirks of the GitHub Actions and all the individual steps involved, to the manual steps involved to actually do the automated release are slowly fading away. I mean, we find solutions. We take this iteratively, and we find solutions to resolve these as we go. I mean, it's an iterative process.
Okay. So far, so good, it sounds like overall.
Yeah.
Any other topics for today? If it's crickets, I'm happy to give people some time back.
Yeah.
So thank you all who made it to the call, and please check out the open action items, check out the overview presentation, and let me know what else to update in it. Add some thoughts to the Etherpad in terms of what information you think people should see about Kata containers when they stumble on the overview slide deck. It is available on the Kata Containers website. And yeah, with that, have a good rest of your day, and soon have a good weekend.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.